Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. Are you worried about your parents and their financial situation? Are you panicking about it? If so, this show is for you.
I'm scared for my mother.
Are you wiping away tears, Mama?
Yeah.
What are you crying about?
Really that I've let myself get into this situation.
And you ask me, can I afford it?
I'd like to go to a 2-day golf school.
Are you really bad?
Yeah, I'm really bad.
You're really bad. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk to you if you are a parent. I also want to talk to you if you are a child of a parent. Because here's what's been going on. We have been getting email after email after email from adult kids saying, Suze, my parents are in horrific financial shape. They are not listening to me, and I am scared to death, Suze. Am I going to be responsible for their credit card debt? Suze, I don't have money to take care of myself. How am I going to be able to take care of them when they're not going to be able to take care of themselves? Suze, I'm talking to them, but they don't want to listen to me. So I'm here to say this has got to stop, and this has got to stop right here and right now. Parents of adult children, you have got to listen when your kids are coming to you and they are saying, Mom, why are you spending so much money? Mom, Dad, you have $35,000 of credit card debt. What's going on? You have to stop looking at them like you're a little baby who doesn't know anything. And you have to listen to them with the ears of somebody hearing words from the person that probably loves you the most in your entire life. And when they're worried about you, you can't let them just go away and go, they don't care. My parents don't care. They're acting like financial idiots. And many of you are. So this entire night, this entire program is about adult kids calling in and the problems that they are having, financially speaking, with their parents. So I want all of you to listen, because this is a problem that can be solved if you're simply willing to communicate with one another. I know you never think you're going to get older. I know you think you're never going to retire. I know you think the answer is you're going to work to the day that you die. But things happen in life, people. And this is the year, this is the time that you need to listen to your kids. If they're coming to you with concerns, you need to rise to the occasion and change your behavior. Do you hear me? And that brings me to my one-on-one tonight. Christopher is here from San Francisco. He's 44. Partnered and a VP at a software company. He's brought his mother, Ann, on the show. Hi, Ann.
Hello.
You okay there?
Yes, I am.
All right, girlfriend. Ann lives near Washington, D.C. She's 62 and divorced. Christopher says Ann is a financial disaster. He's frustrated and annoyed and says she'll take his money but not take his advice. So he wants me to see what I can do. Christopher, this has to have been going on for a long time. So what is it that happened that drove you to me right here and right now?
So I'm scared for my mother. I'm scared and a bit frustrated with her financial situation. I think, firstly, my mother is a good woman. She's a very, very wonderful lady. And what's happened over the years is I think we have a foundation of about 40 years of bad financial decisions. This is bad business ventures. This is lack of retirement planning. This is lack of proper savings, overspending, and coupled with an event that happened, I think we'll get into that a little bit later on, but an event that happened about 6 years ago has created a financial train wreck. And what I'm trying to do today is to provide my mother with a plan that slows the impact of the crash. That's my goal today.
Okay, so Ann, you've just heard your son. You've heard my intro to this entire situation. Just before we even talk about money, how does it make you feel that you're sitting here on television and this is what your son feels is needed for you to hear what he has been trying to say to you over all these years?
Oh, well, it's quite disturbing. And I understand where he's coming from. He loves me. I'm the caregiver for my mom, so I know he loves her as well. And he sees a dismal future for me. It's kind of hard to hear it the way I just heard it. I know he's been saying it, but I'm pretty much the optimist. I try not to look at things as dismally as that is, because depression would set in and I wouldn't get anything done.
So first of all, I love that you've come on the air, so I thank you for that. But you are still young. You are still working. Now, you can't,
Well, thank you.
You can't look like that because you and I are the exact same age.
Oh.
You and I are both the same age. The problem is, it is very possible that you have another 30 years to live. But all I see when I see your finances is we have $100 in an emergency fund. We have $30,000 of credit card debt. You have $24,000 in retirement account. And we have $1,000 a month in deficit every single month, which is why we have $30,000 of credit card debt, of you being able to pay your bills.
You're right.
And very shortly, we're at the end of the rope of you trying to even make it and get it. And here's the other thing. We have $27,000 of student loan debt. We also have $18,000 of a debt that you're paying for back taxes, that they're garnishing your wages. And the good news is, however, we have a 5-bedroom house with about $75,000 of equity in it, that if we looked at this entire situation, we could make some changes, Anne, to your life right here and right now to prevent a financial disaster hitting you if, God forbid, something goes wrong with the house. If I were you, this is what I would suggest. I would sell the house right now. Listen closely. I would move into a 2-bedroom apartment. Then I wouldn't be responsible for anything that goes wrong. You would cut your expenses by at least $1,000 a month if you did that. Now, if you sell your house, we now have enough money, if we want, to do what? Pay off the $18,000 of debt that you owe the state. If you want, we have $27,000 to get you out of student loan debt. As far as the credit card debt goes, you're already in default in most of it. So I would just stop paying it, period, at this point, believe it or not, because you're in default. You've been in default. Let's just forget that. Use whatever you have there to get yourself going. So cut up the credit cards. Credit cards are out of the picture. And now you're in a situation where you have money for you to breathe a little. When I give you that plan, is that something that you can entertain doing?
Well, actually, to tell you to be honest with you, I had already thought about letting that house go. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of cosmetic work in it so that I can get the max dollar out. And it's mostly just cosmetic, painting, you know, maybe replacing the carpet, those sort of type things. I don't have any problem leaving that house.
All right, so Christopher.
That's not the problem.
Is that news for you?
That is news. I didn't know that.
You have a son who feels this burden is on his shoulders, and he's going to have to carry this for the entire family. And he's willing to step up to the plate. I mean, if you could hear the things he says about you, he loves you, Mama, more than you have any idea. But he wants you to be the powerful woman that he knows that you are, and he just wants you to be able to listen to him and have a conversation and be his financial partner with him in terms of accepting his advice as much as you were willing to accept his money. Is that something that the two of you right here will agree to do?
I think I've been in agreement. I think I'm more in agreement now this year starting out than I was before.
Yeah, and those
And,
tears, wait, do I see tears there? Are you wiping away tears, Mama?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What are you crying about?
Really that I've let myself get into this situation. And the only reason I did this we had this conversation, my son and I had this conversation, is because when you're in a relationship for 35 years, 37 total before the divorce.
Yeah.
When you're in a relationship that long, you're working on trying to make it work. You're working on trying to keep the family together and to do all those things. And there were a lot of decisions that were made I was not in agreement with, but I went along with it. And it ended up in a disaster. So I can only blame myself because I wasn't strong enough to say no.
So, Christopher, do you hear that?
I do hear that, and my heart goes out to my mother. As you say, Susie, I love her more than she knows.
Yeah.
But what I want to focus on is how do we fix it as a family?
Yeah. So, Mama, I get that your heart is still broken about some of the bad decisions you made. I would say to you, who cares about them? You are not the decisions you made in the past. You are the decisions that you make right here and now and in the future. And if we can just take tonight as the true turning point to make every decision a good decision, to make every decision a decision that benefits you, Mom, then your family will be okay. And when in fact you do sell the house, then let's get you out of debt, let's start you on firm ground, and let's make every day from this day forward a step that takes you closer not only to yourself, but to your family that loves you, as you heard your son say, more than life itself. What do you say? We got a deal?
We got a deal.
All right, I'm going to hold you to it. And if you think that Suze Orman isn't going to be checking up on you, girlfriend, you couldn't be more wrong if you tried. Oh, Lordy, here we go.
My mother is over $85,000 in credit card debt, and I just found this out.
So wait. And later, in wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I'm currently super pregnant, and before the baby comes, I really want to buy myself something extravagant and special to reward myself for all the hard work that I've been doing. So I want to buy her diamond earrings that cost about $10,000.
I'm speechless for a second. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Let's go to Tara, coming to us from Massachusetts. Tara, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking my call.
Ask me your question.
Okay, so my dad is the hardest worker I know, but here's the problem. He's ruined his credit years ago, and he never learned his lesson from that. He lives paycheck to paycheck, and he can't save a dime. I tried to get him to let me manage his money, but he refuses to do that. He says he'll just work until the day he dies. I also lent him money to buy a car, and now I feel guilty about asking him for payments because of all the things he did for me growing up. So what can I do to help him, or at least not let this issue be one of the biggest stressors in my life?
Yeah. What's interesting, Tara, is that you said that he can't save. Mm-hmm. Is it that he can't save or that he doesn't want to?
He doesn't want to.
And why do you think that is? And how old is he right now?
He's about 47, 48.
All right, so here's the problem. He's not old enough yet, believe it or not, to get that he's going to get older. It's not until really that you turn 50, 55, 60, especially when you turn 60. I can say that, I'm older than 60. When you turn 60, that's when you really start to freak. So he hasn't gotten to the 50 mark, which all of a sudden goes, oh my God, I'm getting older. I'm now not in my 40s, I'm in my 50s. So you may, if you're lucky, see a transformation. Can you afford the payment that he isn't making to you for his car?
I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
But are you struggling to make that?
Well, it was really just the down payment on his car, so it was a small amount, not the whole. I didn't like co-sign or anything like that.
So, and how much money, I just have to ask, are we talking about?
About $1,500.
All right, here's what I would do if I were you. I would say to him, I gave you $1,500, I lent it to you, it's now a gift. Don't pay me back, now we're even, but don't come asking me for money anymore because you have proven to me that you're not good for it. This isn't gonna be easy for you, sweetheart, but the more honest you are with him, the better off he will be. All right, Denise, my love, you are on the air.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Denise.
My mother is over $85,000 in credit card debt, and I just found this out because she came to visit us for Christmas. And I'm trying to figure out whether or not we should file for bankruptcy, and if we do, what type.
Yeah, Denise, how did your mother get to $85,000 in credit card debt?
Well, the only one I know about is with one of the banks she banks with. She got a cash advance on the credit card for over $20-some thousand.
Yeah.
So my problem is she doesn't remember doing it. She can't tell me how the other ones happen. I'm assuming you get those lovely little zero balance transfers or zero interest, and I think she did that and continually did it.
So wait. She doesn't remember doing this?
No.
Does your mother have any kind of Alzheimer's setting in?
I'm not sure. My uncle and I have talked about it, and we need to get her tested. But the problem is she lives in Iowa. I live in Washington State.
All right, but here's the thing, Denise. Just what if? What if she didn't do this? What if your mother was a victim of identity theft? And because, you know, especially, how old is your mama?
She's 84.
Yeah, so when mamas start to get older, parents start to get older, they're starting to become victims of identity theft because they're not checking their credit reports, they're not applying for new credit, so they don't even know what's happening. So here's two things. If this is really your mother's money and she's really done this, yes, you should claim bankruptcy on it, and you should claim Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means all the debt will disappear. Now, I'm assuming that your mother doesn't really own a home or have anything else.
No, she does not.
So she's renting, correct?
She's renting.
Yeah, that's a perfect situation for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But before I did that, I just want to make sure that my mama was the one who really did all this to herself. Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I recently published a children's book that teaches kids, the value of money.
You're doing all of these things with your money. What are you teaching children? Also,
what I'm looking to do is to buy him a 1-hour orientation flight on a P-51 Mustang.
$4,000 for 1 hour? What do you want to buy?
Diamond earrings, that
2-day golf school.
an incredible engagement ring for my sweetheart.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Can I Afford It segment of the Suze Orman Show. This is where you call in and you tell me what you want to buy, and oh yes, I tell you if you can afford it or not. Let's see what we got going. Maria, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. Thank you for taking my call and for teaching me to be a faithful steward to my money.
There we go. Girlfriend, what do you want to buy?
Well, I was recently engaged, and I received an incredible engagement ring from my sweetheart. And since he gave me this, what I consider a forever ring, I wanted to give him a forever memory. So what I'm looking to do is to buy him a 1-hour orientation flight on a P-51 Mustang in Kissimmee, Florida. And the reason why is he's a pilot and he's a Gulf War veteran. His father was a World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War veteran, and his son is in the Army. With that said, my fiance has so much passion for the military, and the P-51 Mustang is his dream plane.
$4,000 for 1 hour?
Well, Susie, that also includes the flight, the hotel, the car rental, and a flight for 2 to Florida.
Girlfriend, show me the money.
So income combined is $9,486.
Yeah.
Our expenses for 1 month is $7,731. Our debt is $178,000 for a 15-year fixed mortgage at 4.38%, and we have $2,000 in credit card debt at 0%. Our savings is $110,000 in liquid, $123,000 investment, and $387,000 retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, Susie, we have what we call our vacation fund.
Yeah.
And also it would be in the liquid. So we have saved for our vacation fund, which is separate from everything else. It's part of the $110,000 liquid. So we would pay for it out of that fund, and we have been saving for this
So
trip.
it seems to me you have the $2,000 of credit card debt. It's 0%. You could pay off at any time because you're making 0.5% in the thing. So I get all that. Seems like you have a lot of money around. So this one for your husband, you have been denied. And listen to me why you are denied. You don't have enough money in retirement because you are 50 years of age. If you were calling me up with these numbers and you were 29 years of age, oh, you would be going, flying. But you are grounded here, girlfriend. Here's the thing, that great engagement ring that you mentioned, as I look through your paperwork, do you know that you're still paying for that engagement ring?
Yes.
Yes. So you have all of these things. The numbers don't really tell the whole story. No, you are denied. You cannot afford it right now. You're not even fully funding your Roth IRAs. Are you kidding me? Fund your Roth IRA with that money, and then maybe I'd think about it. All right, Karima, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I am actually interested in buying some children's book. I recently published a children's book that teaches kids, the value of money and how to manage it. And I am running through my books because it has sold, and now I need to place another order. But in order for me to be able to get a decent unit price, I need to place a quite larger quantity order, and that's what I'm wondering if I can afford or not.
And how much are you making on every book when you sell it?
Right now, I'm making about $8 to $9, but I have not yet fully recouped all of my expenses
for it at this point in time. Is that correct? All right, so
correct.
You now want to put out $3,187. You want to have even more expenses on top of this when you haven't even recouped the original. Show me the money.
All right. My monthly income is $6,650.
Yes.
We have expenses of monthly $5,613, which includes car lease.
Yes.
As far as debt goes, I have a $110,000 fixed 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
And a second smaller mortgage of $8,000, 10-year fixed.
Yes.
My husband has a $49,000 student loan, and we have an $8,000 car loan. As far as savings, we have $14,000 in liquid, and we have $53,000 in retirement, plus a defined benefit plan that I have also.
And Karima, how are you going to pay for this? Where's that almost $3,500 about, or $3,200 going to come from?
Well, we would take it out of the savings.
And that then brings you down to like $10,800. And does that even give you close to an emergency fund that you need?
Yes, I believe it does.
It does. What did you tell me your expenses were per month to live?
It is, our expenses are $5,600.
And what do I say that you need in an emergency fund? 8 months worth of expenses, which is over $40,000. So you are denied. And you are denied for more reasons. And I want to say this to you from the bottom of my heart. You cannot teach that which you do not know.
Okay.
Right. You have an 8-month-old child, and you do not have a will or a living revocable trust. You know, have high interest rates on your mortgages. You just showed me a mortgage, and I saw one interest rate at almost 9% when you could have a 2%, 2.5% mortgage. So I look at your finances. You have negative equity. You're leasing a car. You're doing all of these things with your money. What are you teaching children? So I'm not going to have you answer that question. It's just that you do not have the money to do this. I would not be doing this at this point in time. Amanda, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie.
Hi, girlfriend. What do you want to buy?
Hi. So I'm currently super pregnant. I'm about 37 weeks. And before the baby comes, I really want to buy myself something extravagant and special to reward myself for all the hard work that I've been doing. So I want to buy her diamond earrings that cost about $10,000.
I'm speechless for a second. You are pregnant with child, and you want to spend $10,000 on a pair of diamond earrings that you very well could lose?
Yeah, that's exactly what my husband says. He thinks we should put the money towards college savings.
But you want to know if Suze Orman thinks you have the money to do this. So remember, this is the Can I Afford It segment. Even though I think it is stupid, that doesn't matter. If you have the money, let's see. Show it to me.
Okay, so my husband and my combined monthly income is $17,549.
Yep.
Our current expenses are $9,906 a month.
Yep.
We have a mortgage for about $534,000 that we have a 3.5% interest rate at. We have no other debt, and other than that, we have savings of about $109,000 liquid, $65,000 in investments, and $244,000 in retirement.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to deny you. And I'm denying you because when you have a baby and you don't have this baby yet, there are all these unknowns. The baby hopefully will come out healthy. We don't know. We don't know the expenses that might really go along with it. So if I were you, I would just wait. I would have the baby. I would see how the expenses go. And then if everything is okay and you want to still do this, then all right. But right now, before birth, you have been denied. Wayne, what do you want to buy?
Hello, girlfriend. It's an honor to be on the show. I can't believe I'm talking to you. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. What do you want to buy?
I'd like to go to a 2-day golf school. Where I work, the salespeople often take you out with customers, and I feel like this will drastically improve my game so that I'm not such an embarrassment to the company or myself when I go out and play with them.
Are you really bad?
Yeah, I'm really bad.
You're really bad. Do you make all those divots and things in the ground when you go and you swing everything, right?
If I'm lucky enough to hit the ball, yeah.
And so they want you to pay the $650 out of your own pocket, correct?
Yes, this would be out of my own pocket. It covers lodging, food, and they also give you on-course instruction, which is very, very hard to come by.
Got it. Show me the money.
All right, I take $3,323 to take home.
Yeah.
My expenses are $3,089.
Yeah.
$2,164 a month for bills and $925 a month for rent.
All right.
As far as debt, I have $30,000 student loans, 5% to 6.5%, and $10,000 car loan at 0%. As far as savings, I have $7,000 liquid and $20,000 retirement.
All right. Denied. Everybody tonight has been denied. Why are you? Wait, let me tell you. You told me that you had expenses of about $2,000, $3,000 a month. That means you need $24,000 a month of an emergency fund. You only have $7,000. Now listen, if they're the ones that are taking you out, all you have to do is you have to say to everybody, I'll tell you how you get customers. You go out there and you don't impress them with your golf skills. You impress them with your honesty. And you say, I just want you to know, I'm really bad at this. So any good tips that you could give me, I'd love to listen to you. Teach me how to be great like you. Tell that to a customer and, oh, guess what? You'll get the sale. But you are denied. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to SuzeOrman.com and you will find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right hair. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze. So many moms, especially single mothers, gave everything to their kids, and here they are now in their 60s, and they don't have enough money to retire. But here's what they also don't have. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways that you can reach me. Take a look at your screen. You can send it an email. Join me on Facebook. You can even tweet me. So let's see what's trending. All right, from @NoYouMayNot05. I wonder what you may not do, 05. But anyway, is it true that collection accounts on my credit report do not improve my score after I pay them off? So guess what? It's true. Listen, the credit that you need to worry about is credit that you owe and you're late on, but you recently late on it. So if you've been late for 90 days, 120 days, it's new with late payments. Guess what? That's the debt that's going to hurt your score the most. If it's already been on your report for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, now it's in collection, it already did its damage after the first 90 or 120 days. So if you go and you pay the older debt off, it's not going to improve your score. So if you are late in payments across the board, take care of the most recent debt first. However, you should still pay it off because you owe it. Let's see what else is trending. At KTO Knockout, does pursuing medical school justify student loans? My Pell Grant runs out soon. Listen, KTO Knockout, I know very few people that can go to medical school and just pay for it outright. So if you really want to be a doctor, if you really want to be what you need to be, and therefore you have to go to medical school and it means taking out loans, of course it justifies it. You just have to know, do you really want to be a doctor? It's really that easy. Hey, let's go to webcam. Going to Andy in New York. Ask me your question.
Hi, Susie. Thanks so much for having me on your show. My question is about my mom and my siblings and myself, really. My mom is 62 years old, and she's been a single mom of the 5 of us. So she's very underprepared to retire in the next 5 to 8 years or so. And I was wondering, what can the 5 of us do sort of to help? You've been talking about long-term care insurance a lot lately, so I was wondering if we should really be looking into that. I've done a little research, but I was wondering if there was anything else we need to be considering if we can help.
You know, first of all, I love you, Andy. I love that you're thinking about that with your mama, because it's true. So many moms, especially single mothers, gave everything to their kids, and here they are now in their 60s, and they don't have enough money to retire. But here's what they also don't have. They don't have the ability to say to their kids, can you now take care of me? Can you now help me? Because God forbid a mother should want anything from her kids. Everything she does is for her kids. So here's what I would love to see all 5 of you do. I would love to see all 5 of you take, if you can, like 10% of your income or some amount of money, and every single month put it all into a fund for her. You don't have to tell her that you're doing it, but you should all do it, and you should start it right now and let it build and let it build and let it build. And when she finally can't work anymore, you now will be able to present her with maybe $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 to say, Mom, look what we have for you. And that will be the greatest gift you could possibly give her. Should you look into long-term care? Absolutely. Because I have to tell you, the one thing that will drain all the money will be if something happens to her, you guys can't take her in, and she has to use up everything to take care of herself. But you have to be able to afford it now all the way until she's around 84 years of age. But if you could do both those things, Andy, I would come and I would give you a hug personally, boyfriend. All right, everybody, we're going back to the studio, but here's what's coming up next. Christine wants to know, Susie,
how am I doing? It's taken me years to earn my PhD in psychology. I got a late start and now fear I'm the one in need of financial therapy.
Was that an ugh? Let me have it again. Ugh?
Yeah,
Let's ugh.
It was.
Ugh, okay. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 45 and a single parent of a 5-year-old beautiful boy. My 66-year-old mother also lives with us, and I essentially support her. It's taken me years to earn my PhD in psychology. I got a late start and now fear I'm the one in need of financial therapy. My goal is to retire at 67 and be able to travel and enjoy life. Susie, how am I doing?
Good evening, my dear Christine. How do you feel?
Hey, Susie.
How do you feel like you're doing?
Well, you know, I give grades a lot in my line of work, and I know that that's one of the questions you always ask.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking I'm probably maybe on a D level at this point.
A D level at that time. And I just have to ask this before we go into everything. Why, at the young age of 66, do you feel like you need to take care of your mother, and can she not take care of herself? What happened?
Yeah, no, she can take care of herself. She's completely healthy and everything. She chose to come and live with us to help me take care of my son.
Got it. Let's take a look at your stats, and we'll see the grade that I give you. In retirement, you have about $44,000. You have $20,000 about in an emergency fund. You have consumer debt of $101,000. A lot of that, everybody, is student loan. Christine has about $75,000 of student loan. You don't own a home, so you have a negative net worth at this moment in time of $37,200. It's this next screen that really tells the true story. Girlfriend, take a look. You have monthly income of $3,600, but you have monthly expenses of $3,817. That's a deficit of $217 per month. When you actually do the numbers that you put down on the paper, these are your numbers, you're really, when you take everything into consideration, you're not even saving, you're just making it, if that. Agreed?
Right.
All right.
Yep, okay.
And so if that's the case, and you are 45 years of age, and you have a 5-year-old and a 66-year-old mother, and you are the one that has to be strong enough to hold everything up, and you want to retire in 22 yeyears, I have to tell you, I would give you an F. And the reason that I would give you an F, was that an ugh? Let me have it again. Ugh?
Yeah.
Let's ugh.
It was.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and the reason is a combination of future as well as present. So let's just deal with this. If you do everything the way that you're doing right now, you will have income of about $4,000 a month, including Social Security after taxes and everything at 67. I don't think that's going to be enough for you.
Yeah, right.
It's just not going to be enough. But what concerns me isn't so much about the future, because 22 years from now, we can change a lot. What concerns me is about the present. So you're taking care of 2 people, and yet you only have $100,000 of a life insurance policy.
Okay.
They get a $100,000 death benefit. They invest it. That will give them, $2,000 a year of income if they're lucky. So here is your way to an A. I need you first to raise your term life insurance to at least $1 million.
Wow.
However, now at your age, we're only talking about maybe $50 a month. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
All right? So you want a 20-year level term policy, $1 million death benefit. You don't have a will, and you don't have a living revocable trust.
Right.
Big ding. So therefore, you have to get yourself a will, a living revocable trust. Mommy should have that. Everyone should have that. And you will make the living revocable trust the beneficiary of the life insurance policy, so that then you can control how it's supposed to go. Next, your mother has to become a team player, really. And I don't care if that means that she just has to bring in some money. I don't care what it is, but she's got to find something to bring in $1,000 a month, so that both you and she can almost fully fund your Roth IRAs for yourself. Next, You are going to stay because you're currently working in the public sector, which will now forgive your student loans in the next 7 or 8 years.
Right.
So that's great. But after that, you're going to have to make more money. So you may very well find yourself having to leave the public sector and then go to the private sector so that you can then, in the next 15 years after that or so, make a whole lot more money to save for yourself, for your retirement, and to be able to take care of your mother. If you do all of those things, that, girlfriend, is your way to an A. Up next, one more thing that I want you to know. If you see your parents acting in an irresponsible financial way, don't ask them the question, why are they wasting money? Ask them questions such as, welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Well, that's almost a wrap here on the Suze Orman Show, but before we go, there is still one more thing that I want you to know. Tonight's entire show was dedicated to children, adult children, communicating with their parents, especially when their parents are being, in the kids' eyes, irresponsible with money. But this is what I want you to understand. When somebody is doing something that doesn't make any sense with money, usually the problem has nothing to do with money at all. It has to do with that they have some hurt, some emotional problem, something that's going on inside of them that they don't know how to solve. They don't feel like they have anybody they can talk to about it. So what do? They try to fill up that emptiness by spending, spending, spending. We saw that happen tonight with our interview, my one-on-one with Christopher and his 62-year-old mother, Anne, who was just kind of stoic at the beginning of the interview. She was holding her own. And then I noticed that there was a little tear coming down her cheek. And then another one. And then I asked her why. And she talked about how hard it was that after 30 some odd years of marriage, that you're really trying to make it work and it doesn't work. What do you do? So here is my final suggestion. If you see your parents acting in an irresponsible financial way, rather than going to them and you becoming the parent and going, stop doing that, don't do that, it's ridiculous, don't ask them the question, why are they wasting money? Ask them questions such as, Mom, is something bothering you? Are you afraid of something? Dad, are you hurt inside? Are you crying? What's wrong, Dad? Can you tell me what's going on in your life? Have a conversation about who they are and what they're going through as a human being, as your parent. And maybe that will unlock the mystery as to why they are acting so irresponsible when it comes to money. Now you know. But until next week, there's only one thing that I really want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. Bye-bye.